How's it going out there, YouTubers? Cyberneticshark here with another new movie review for you. So let's go right into this review and see what I saw. So the other day, I had the pleasure of checking out a new, awesome sequel film that just came out in theaters a couple weeks ago. And that, of course, is the awesome sequel to the first Jurassic World. And that, of course, is the film Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Now, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, once again, like I said, is a sequel to the first Jurassic World, and also the fifth in the Jurassic Park series. Now, this awesome film was none other directed by a really awesome Spanish director named J.A. Bonnier. Now, J.A., he has done quite a few other films. He's actually made some really good films, and, this film is no exception. He just really wanted to bring kind of a new, kind of more horror vibe to the film this time around versus what we've seen in previous films. Now, J.A. Bonnier, a couple films I've seen that I thought were pretty decent films he directed were none other than an awesome film that came out in 2007 and is a Spanish-speaking film that is just a really different ghost story, and it is called The Orphanage. Now, The Orphanage, if you're not familiar with it, basically what it's about, it's this orphan. She's now all grown up, and she buys the old orphanage she grew up in. And while she's there, basically she starts having problems there with, this little boy that supposedly was there when she was a child. And he just all of a sudden appears, comes out of nowhere and appears after her son goes missing. And basically the movie's basically about her trying to find her son and, figure out what happened and so forth. It's a really interesting, ghost story. It was really interesting, very well done. I thought J.A. did a really good job with it. I thought it was very entertaining. It kept you, on your seat. It kept you wanting to watch it. It just was a really fun and interesting Spanish-speaking film. Kind of along the lines of Pan's Labyrinth or any of the Spanish-speaking films that Guillermo del Toro has done. Along the same lines, I feel. And I think it was really well done and a really good, directing duty that he, performed. Now, another film that he directed was a really awesome kind of drama fantasy film that came out in 2016 and stars Sigourney Weaver, and that is the film A Monster Calls. Now, A Monster Calls, if you're not familiar with what that film is, it's basically, like I said, a drama fantasy about this boy that keeps encountering this monster voiced by Liam Neeson that's asking him to tell him a story about what he fears, basically. And, the poor boy, he's dealing with his mother dying, having to live with his grandmother and stuff like that. And it's kind of a, coming to terms type of film. Really amazingly directed by J.A. I thought he did a really good job. I thought the CGI work in it was really fantastic. The monster looked really awesome, along with Liam Neeson's voice. Just a really well done, heartfelt film. Can bring tears to your eyes, most definitely, but it's just a really well-rounded film, and I thought J.A. directed it very beautifully. Now, when it comes to Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom, I definitely don't think he was the best director of all the directors for the Jurassic Park series. I still think he did a decent job, made a really entertaining film. I don't think it's as scary as dark as he was looking for, but at the same time, I still thought he did a decent job in bringing us another awesome addition to the series, and just did a really good job of, getting some really good action sequences and bringing us some, great story and giving us some interesting comedy lines, and just did a really well, directing job and made a decent film. So Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom brings back a couple characters from the first Jurassic World, and also introduces a few new characters. Now, this awesome film, of course, once again, we have the awesome presence of Star-Lord himself, Mr. Chris Pratt. Now, Chris Pratt, you might recognize, from Guardians. You might recognize him from Parks and Rec. You might recognize him from Delivery Man. You might recognize him for a slew of films. But a couple films I really enjoyed him and thought he was fantastic in were none other than the awesome Volume 2 of an awesome Marvel series called Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I just thought, him bringing his story and more of his, background to light in this film was just really fun and interesting, and I thought it really showed, Chris Pratt's really great acting abilities. Even though he's, really good at comedy, he can do really dramatic kind of, interpretations as well, I thought. And he's a really good and decent all-around actor, and I thought he did a really fantastic job in Volume 2 of Guardians. I just loved, his character. I loved some of his lines. I loved how he reacted to Ego being his dad. And I just thought Chris did a really good job of bringing that, tuition and making it really, believable and really awesome. And, giving us a whole new light on Star-Lord's character's, biography, basically. Bringing it to the big screen. It was really fun to see that and see Chris Pratt really bring together a great character. Another movie that Chris Pratt was in, and I totally forgot he was in it. It wasn't a huge part, but still it was a fun part and silly part. And that, of course, is in the awesome horror comedy film that stars, a great cast, a great ensemble cast, and just was a really well done, kind of horror comedy film. And that, of course, is the film Jennifer's Body. Now, if I remember correctly, he in the movie he plays either one of the rock band people or he plays like a teacher of some sort. I can't exactly remember, but I remember that he was absolutely hilarious in this short but very memorable role. And he just was so stinking funny and hilarious and just, brought a really good, comedy element to the film. When it's supposed to be kind of dark and, horror-like and stuff like that. Even though there's still a lot of comedy element to the film, between Amanda Seyfried and the other characters in the film. It's just a fun and interesting film. And I just thought Chris Pratt was really fantastic in it and did a really good job. And, just added another great role to his portfolio. But it comes again to playing Grady in the awesome Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom. He once again brought it. He was so stinking hilarious again in this. So great, great action sequences. Just was a really awesome. It was really fun seeing him again play the same character and bring into light more of that character, his relationship with, Bryce Dallas Howard's character, and just, his whole, philosophy of this character was really awesome. And it's just a really fun character. And, Chris once again brought it again in this film and just made a really good action comedy type of film. And, is just making the, Jurassic Park franchise even funner and more entertaining just with his performance. Really good job by Chris Pratt. Definitely worth watching if you're a huge Chris Pratt fan. We also have returning from the first Jurassic World film in this particular film is none other than the beautiful and gorgeous Miss Bryce Dallas Howard. Now, Bryce Dallas Howard, you all might know as Ron Howard's daughter. You also might recognize her from the movie The Village or from, the third Spider-Man film with Tobey Maguire. But a couple films I really enjoyed her in and thought she was fantastic in were none other than the awesome remake of a classic 1970 Disney's movie. And that, of course, is the film Pete's Dragon. She actually ends up playing the Helen Reddy character in the remake, and I thought she did a pretty decent job. I really enjoyed seeing her in it. I thought it was kind of funny, her playing such a motherly role, being so young. But, as, unfortunately in Hollywood, the actresses get older, they become, mom figures versus, action stars and stuff like that sometimes, But, it's getting better and better as, years have gone by. But still, it was kind of funny seeing her in that kind of role, because I didn't see her as that type of, Helen Readiness. But at the same time, she still did a decent job and was fun in it. And really was enjoyable. She really made the film, fun and entertaining, and was a great addition to everyone else that was involved with the film. Another great film that Bryce Dallas Howard was in was an awesome and another film series that has gone on many times now. It has done 5 films in the series. This was number 4 that she was in. And of course that is the film Terminator Salvation, directed by Mick G. Now this awesome film, she plays the role from the third Terminator film that was played by Claire Danes. And she plays John Connor's wife in this film. And I thought she did a really good job. Even though it wasn't a huge part, I still liked her character. I really enjoyed it. I thought she did a decent job. And I just thought she was really entertaining in the film. And I thought she played, that typical character very well and made it a lot more interesting and fun. And I thought she was a lot better than Claire Danes was in Terminator 3, most definitely. And I just thought she brought a lot more sympathy and a lot more, love to the, character. And made it just really enjoyable and fun. But it once again comes to, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. She played the character again, really fun. She was really more, I liked her character a lot more in this one because she was more into what she had to do. She was kind of whole new career. She was more about saving and helping things. She was a lot more charismatic in this film, and I really enjoyed that in this film. Thought she did a really good job and was really entertaining in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. She was, once again, great pairing with Chris Pratt. They worked really well together, and she just was an enjoyable character again. And just, she made it fun. She made it entertaining, and I thought she was a really good addition to this awesome film series. Now, we have new people joining this awesome cast. Now, to start off this awesome new cast that's joining us for the first time in this awesome film, we have none other than an awesome actor that has been around for many years. He's, hugely known for his role in Silence of the Lambs. And that, of course, is Mr. Ted Levine. Now, Ted Levine has been in like a whole bunch of films over the years, lots of supporting actor roles, so forth and stuff like that, and just was a really great all-around actor. Now, a couple things I really enjoyed him in and thought he was fantastic in was none other than an awesome USA TV show that, ran for 8 seasons. It was just a fantastic show starring Tony Shalhoub. And that, of course, is the awesome TV series Monk. Now, he was awesome as Captain Stottlemyre in that show. I absolutely loved him in it. I think he was hilarious. I thought he worked so well with Tony Shalhoub. His whole presentation in the show was just super hilarious. And I just thought he worked so well with everyone involved and just made that Stottlemyre so hilarious and fun. Really enjoyable character. I really enjoyed him. And I thought he, really showed a lot of his, comedy talent in Monk and just how good he is as an actor. Now, another great film that he was in that I absolutely enjoyed and thought his, short but memorable role in the film was really fantastic was none other than an awesome 1997 film starring the late, great Robin Williams, and is a remake of a Disney classic. And that, of course, is the film Flubber. Now, in Flubber, Ted Levine plays one of, the henchmen guys that is, a part of the bad guys team. And he's absolutely hilarious in this role. I love it. Just his demeanor, his voice. He's just absolutely hilarious, and I loved him in it. And I just loved all his reactions to everything that happened in the film. And just, how he had to react. And, he had some great comedic one-liners throughout the film, too. And he just was really fun to watch. One of his best roles, I think, besides, of course, playing Buffalo Bill and Silence of the Lambs. But he just was so super fantastic. The film was fun. Really enjoyable and made the movie very entertaining and just was a really fun, character in the film. But when it comes to Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, he actually plays kind of a scumbag in the film, which is, he does pretty well. He does really good with that, but he was a great kind of addition to the film. Kind of like in Lost World when we had that group that came in and was, trying to take the dinosaurs and stuff like that. It was kind of similar to that, and I thought it was really awesome, Ted Levine's character and how kind of evil, but at the same time, unsure he is. And just, how fun he was playing that character. He was really good at being this evil guy. And he was really enjoyable. I mean, every role he does, I think he does a fantastic job. And this one was no exception. He was fantastic once again. And I loved his interactions with Chris Pratt and everyone, too. And just, he was really awesome in the film. Definitely worth a watch just for Ted Levine as well. He was so good in it. A last new great addition to this awesome film, and this guy has been around for, 40 plus years as an actor. He's an amazing all-around actor. He's done dramedy, he's done comedy, he's done drama, he's done action, he's done sci-fi. He's just an all-around amazing actor. And that, of course, is Mr. James Cromwell. Now, James Cromwell, you might recognize from, the movie Babe. You might recognize him from First Contact of the Star Trek movies with the Next Generation crew. You might recognize him from iRobot. You might recognize him for a slew of films. Now, a couple films I really enjoyed him in, and one of them I've already mentioned, and that, of course, is the awesome Will Smith movie from 2004 that was directed by the awesome Alex Perez. And that, of course, is the film iRobot. Now, iRobot, if you're not familiar with what the film is, basically what the premise of the film is it's supposed to be 2024 or something like that, and robots have become a part of normal life, and basically Will Smith hates them for some reason. You don't know why. You find out later in the film, and all of a sudden these this one robot starts going kind of haywire and starts killing people, and Will Smith, says, "I told you so," and like is trying to figure out why this robot's doing this and what's going on, and that's pretty much what the premise of the film is. But I thought James Cromwell's character was really awesome in the film. I really enjoyed it. Thought he was very dramatic and just really awesome in the film. Lots of great scenes that he was in. He had a lot of great emotion and depth in the character, and really brought him to life, and just made a really fun and awesome action sci-fi film. And he just was a great addition to that film. Now, another great film he was in, and that I think was just a fantastic film, and just I thought he was so superb in it. Just a great comedy film from the 1970s that had a slew of huge, comedians at the time, from Al Guinness to Peter Falk to Eileen Brennan to Maggie Smith, David Nivens. I mean, this movie had a huge cast. Even Truman Capote was in this film. And that, of course, is the awesome comedy film that Neil Simon directed, and that is the film Murder by Death. This film is absolutely one of the best comedy films ever. It's basically the precursor to Clue, and it was almost like the same kind of idea type of, deal. But Murder by Death is just a really fantastic film. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's worth a watch. Put it on your top 100 to watch. This movie is fantastic and one of the best films that should be on comedy #1 to see in the world, because this movie is just fantastic with such a great cast. But James Cromwell plays a character in the film. He's a chauffeur of one of the characters that's a detective. And he's just absolutely hilarious because he has this accent in the film, and it's kind of muffled. So I mean, it was hilarious sounding at the same time, but he was so good at the comedic element in the film that he was so much fun to watch. But between everyone that was involved, everyone worked so well together and just made the film so entertaining and fun. But this movie is a huge and great classic, and James Cromwell just was a great addition to that awesome cast and made it so fun and enjoyable. But when it comes to his character in Fallen Kingdom, he actually was, fun to watch, and also he was kind of an interesting character because he was kind of like a backstory character a little bit, because he was referred to as knowing John Hammond, being his partner that started InGen and stuff like that. So it was kind of interesting seeing this character kind of come to life and kind of get that extra backstory. And I thought James Cromwell did a really good job of playing this character, and he was just fun to watch. He did a really good job. He brought a lot of great chemistry and a lot of great emotion to the character, and just made a fun and interesting, character in the film, and a great addition to that cast. Just a really well done performance, and made the film very enjoyable. So if you're not familiar with what Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is, basically this one starts out that it's been a few years now since the whole incident at Jurassic World. Bryce Dallas Howard's character is no longer working for that company, is now trying to rescue wildlife and stuff like that, and has become kind of like a, or green, earthy type of person. Well, she gets a call, basically, and is asked to go and rescue several dinosaurs from the island, because there's a giant volcano on the island at Isla Sorna that's going to explode and destroy the whole island, and they still want to save some of these dinosaurs, even though the government doesn't really want to save any of the dinosaurs. And so she basically goes on a quest to save these dinosaurs, and she asks for the assistance of Chris Pratt's character. And basically it's about them, and actually that the whole story is not about that. They're trying to sell the dinosaurs on the, kind of like on black market kind of thing, and that they're caught in the middle of it, and they have to figure out what to do to stop it, basically, is what the premise of the film is. It was really well done, really well directed, lots of great action, lots of great comedy, just a really well done and awesome sequel. A lot of people think that it wasn't as good as the first one. I think it is. I thought it was really well done. I thought it was just as good as the first one. I love that we got more action of all the dinosaurs. We saw a new type of dinosaur. I just thought they did a really interesting and good job. Really excellent job, really well done, real fun, and just a really well entertained film. And should definitely get 10 gold movie boxes up, people. Really worth a watch. Go ahead and check it out. Go see it in theaters. Really fun film. Real excellent and just a really amazing film. Looking forward to the third one when it comes out. It's gonna be fun. This was an awesome film. really, really awesome. Yeah. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Also, thank you for subscribing. If it's your first time here, if you've been here before and you haven't hit that subscribe button, what are you waiting for? Somebody to help you push the button? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this video or any of the awesome videos I put up. And as always, keep your eyes out for any older, newer videos you might not have seen yet. And as always, people, check out that awesome app on the Google Play Store or Apple Play Store, people, the Stardust app. Now, Stardust is an awesome little app that you can get on your phone where you can watch 3 to 30 second little mini reviews of movies, TV shows, trailers, anything your heart desires that you might be interested in knowing what about. And also, this awesome app always has new and updated special features. So you can go on there, you can find a poll about a certain movie. Do you like this Spider-Man better? Do you like that Spider-Man better? Do you like this Jurassic World better? Do you like that Jurassic World better? Do you like the Shrek better? Or do you like Ice Age better? All kinds of cool stuff like that. So if that is something that interests you, go ahead and download it now. Yes, now. And then look for me at Cyberneticshark. Follow me, and I'll follow you back. And as always, catch you in the next one.